Hi, welcome to episode 51 of GrandLine Grinders podcast. And today, of course, I'm always joined by my co-host, favorite anime villain. He's a little bit rowdy today. He got a little excited after his sweet Toronto adventure. So how was your week? This
Uh, at this very moment in time, I don't necessarily remember the week, but the Toronto weekend was good. I had a really good time. I unfortunately did not do as well as I was hoping I was going to. I went X3. X2 would have got me top 64, which would have been really cool because the top 64 BOA is worth a lot of money right now. But overall, I had a really good drive up there. I had a really good time in Canada, even though it was short. I had a exceptionally fun time driving back. I'm maybe a little bit, are we more than a minute in right now? I'm sure we
Yeah.
will be. I'm a little bit inebriated, and by a little bit I mean 100 out of 100, and when I say 100 out of 100 I mean 150 out of 100. But it was a good weekend. I had a lot of fun. I'm excited to be back for the podcast. I miss the RePreach. I just bit my cheek, the inside of my cheek, for the 15th time in the last 2 days. That kind of sucks, but it was a really good weekend. I had a lot of fun. I didn't do as good as I was hoping to, not because I'm like as bad as I portray myself to be, not because I misplayed, but just sometimes it's a card game. RNG happens, but
Yeah.
overall very fun. 10 out of 10 weekend. I appreciate the event. I love 401 gaming. And shout out D'Anthrax, shout out Mandy Pants, shout out Brian G, shout out Go to Miss Prime. Those were my homies that I stayed with at the Airbnb. Brian G drove me back. Really fun weekend.
So this week we're going to be talking about, of course, the same thing I always. A little bit of the meta shifts. There's not really a lot, but we'll talk about it shortly. Then we'll talk about what decks list we are kind of thinking could be really good in the extra format. We're going to try to get into that format discussion
Everything
eventually.
sucks except Purple Enel. Purple Enel is the best deck in the format. Fuck Nami, that's a stupid ass deck. Fuck Bell Luffy. Fuck Mihawk. Fuck Lucy. Fuck Ace. Fuck. Hold on, I won't say fuck Yellow Nell because I love Yellow Nell. Fuck Mexico Luffy. Fuck Emu. Fuck Crocodile. And now all the way. Best deck in the format. Best, most fun deck ever. I'm the greatest player ever. You can caption that now, even though I've never won a cereal.
Yeah, I mean, technically, that's kind of the nutshell of this format. Like, there's not a lot to talk about. It's been kind of the same for of course the bottom half, like the 9 and 8, have been swapping in and out, but everything else has kind of just been here.
Can I actually, before we jump into extra grand battle, and I want to mention, I'm gonna be practicing for extra grand battle for the next week and a half because I have three, maybe four extra grand. I have maybe three or four extra grand battle events to practice for within the next week or two. So I will definitely be practicing that. But there are some decks that I wasn't expecting that actually kind of fuck an extra grand.
Yeah, so let's dive right into that. There's not really much to talk about this, and I think extra format is going to be a little bit more interesting. I would love it if we could actually have data on the ranked for this format, and this format actually gets kicked off, and it becomes a mainstay for this TCG, because you can never really. There's always people that love formats that don't have any rotation, right? People love that.
Yeah, of course.
So, discussion. So, definitely we know Purple and L is going to be hyper competitive in the format.
Yep.
Like, there's no reason why it wouldn't be. It's already like one of the best decks, probably in the history of the game.
Baby doll, did you not just listen to what I said? Purple and L is the best deck in the format, and then yellow and L is the second best in the format. I don't give a shit what other people say.
Yellow now, so
Hey,
yellow now
hey,
gets
hey,
what?
whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. You have to put it there anyway. I don't care what you say.
It's probably competitive. I'll give it that.
You have to put it there no matter what is said.
I know. I'm trying to find it first. There he is. There he is. There he is.
No, realistically, Yellow and L is probably like between Rogue and heavily competitive. Like it is probably competitive, but it does play poorly into a handful of matchups you don't want to see.
So first thing I kind of want to discuss though is what leaders that have rotated do you think can make a resurgence here? Do you think Law
Um,
has a shot?
Maybe. I just I think everything that most decks can do falters to purple and L. And I don't want to say that because I'm on purple and L. I'm not that good of a purple and L player, but like the people who are on purple and L, like outside of your hard downfalls, that's just the best deck.
I'm gonna move first
Excuse me.
things first. I'm gonna move up the leaders that I think have a shot that
Yeah, we can talk about it
get a lot of
after.
boost here because like Nami Ashley's playable again. the
Yeah,
the
because it actually has the cards to make a full deck.
Yeah. Besides that, I don't think Yellow Katakuri is going to be at the stack though. Like,
Yellow Katakuri is always kind of fine, but it's a little bit less fine right now because the yellow pool is less trigger oriented. Does that make sense? Like, Katakuri is based on how good you can rearrange your life, and when like a handful of the best yellow cards don't have triggers, it doesn't really matter for Katakuri. Does that make sense? Why did you just put Vivi there? That deck wasn't even that good when it was played. I'm kidding. Vivi's pretty good.
I mean,
Vivi,
she does get her Alabasta stuff back.
I think Vivi is probably competitive.
Right now, I'm just putting them in a Rogue, as in these are probably decks we could discuss
Yeah,
and see how they actually fit. Um,
sure.
I
Go for it. We can talk about it after you put them in the columns.
so let's start with Law. So where do you think Law stacks up? Like, do you think it's competitive? Because I know it's like a very difficult deck to pilot. Um, when I try
No.
piloting it, it's ridiculous.
So Red Purple Law is amazing, and it's actually the first like competitive deck that I ever bought and piloted. But I think it's a really heavy victim to both Nami and Purple and Nell. Even if you can't necessarily bottom deck stuff like Red Per Red
Red
Purple
green, you mean?
RIP. Red yes. Red Green Law is really heavily dependent on sitting behind 8 cost kid, and you can just divine departure 8 cost kid.
You can. And Nell
So like
is a very good argument on its counterpoint,
so
right?
when I will preface this whole podcast that we're talking about extra grand battle, Purple and Nell not and Nami are probably the two decks that you pretty much have to like compare your deck to if you want to run them both in regular format and extra grand format because Enel and Nami both just get a couple more good cards with extra format. Like Enel gets access to Ulti Mortar, Blast Breath, 6 cost Queen, every weird little like super niche purple card can see extra play in Grand Battle and Nell. The same thing with Nami. You have Red Rock back. Maybe you have Pudding back. Hopefully you don't have Pudding back. Maybe it's banned forever. But like you have Red Rock back. And that helps you a lot with some of your worst matchups. Your Nami is already really good into an L. So adding like Red Rock, some Nami players were already running fucking Rygo. So it's like adding Red Rock into the deck instead of Gravity Blade or Rygo adds so much potential, both from life to use it as an active effect or like trigger to bottom deck a 4 cost. It might seem like a 4 cost isn't that substantial, but like that's a Reiju in purple Enel. That's a Frankie blocker in purple Enel. That's a hand rip law in purple Enel. That's a best case scenario, it's a Bartolomeo and Lucy, or it's like a Cavendish and Lucy, or again, it's a Bartolomeo plus a card out of hand because they have to trash an event. And then you know that they had that event, so you know that they have less cards in hand or less cards that could be interactive. Like it's interesting. Extra Grand Battle adds a lot of dynamicy. That's not a word. It
Yeah.
adds a lot of like dynamic plays to the like roster, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's like BDIF because any rogue thing could potentially knock it out, but like once you remove the 10 top best decks, you're going to see a different handful of decks that would be the best if you didn't remove these certain cards. Or like sometimes you'll see stuff that heavily gatekeeps other decks that are either like not included or included with limitations. So like extra grand battle kind of opens that up. You're not really limited to the exact options. I really wish maybe we could get red purple law back. It might be a little bit too broken for the dynamic that we have currently, but we're approaching a really close power creep that red purple law is very playable and not BDIF.
Yeah, I mean, even like it's when like even when VV Theory talked about Red Purple Law, they could easily take it off and they could pair ban it. The leader was something else.
Who's Vivi Theory? No, I'm
VV
kidding.
Theory.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, yeah,
Shout out Vivi Theory. I don't know if I just said that incorrectly
yeah.
before.
So yeah, I think it's a good point. You could take it off the ban list and pair ban a card, right? Because now we actually have that ability to pair ban, and there's a few cards that you could pair ban it to make it where it's at the power level of an L or a little bit lower.
It's
Um,
already only at the power level of an L. So, like, theoretically, my opinion on this, if you add red, purple, law, black
back to
back
the format.
into the meta, you either get every single deck running the anti-removal 2Ks, or you just continue. Like, we're already seeing a meta where people don't give a shit about anti-removal because a lot of stuff just plays around anti-removal. And that goes for red purple law. If you try to remove something one time, they'll just be able to interact with it. They can minus a Dawn or they can minus power to leader. If they minus a Dawn, fine, they're getting 2 back on the next turn, and then they Black Maria to get 5 back, 7 back, and then they minus those Dawn off of Black Maria. Like the deck is very toolboxy. It's very oriented to just do whatever. I will say it's probably kind of a good thing that they didn't introduce red purple law back into extra grand battle. I just like the deck a lot.
Yeah, I personally think it come off. Like I know, like he was saying like one of the main things it was really abused wasn't it Black Maria? Like you could pair ban it with Black Maria.
So when red purple law initial, not to stray off of the discussion
Yeah,
of like extra grand battle, but like when red purple law was banned, it was because Black Maria was coming out and it was essentially too free to play with Black Maria because you never technically had a disadvantage to running the Black Maria or like to minus the 3 Dawn off of leader effect because you always got it back, especially compounded over the course of the game. But like at this point, we have so much anti-removal. We have so many like bodies that are kind of overstated or just that can't be removed. What is red purple law doing into emu? You know what I mean? Like what?
Yeah, like it doesn't do anything, right?
What is another like something that I've been seeing trending a lot? I didn't see it at the regional, but I saw it in a lot of my testing coming up to the regional. What does it do against like Red Bartolomeo, the 4/6? Is it gonna Gordon to minus it to 3, use law effect by minusing 3 Dawn, and then your opponent just returns a Dawn card to keep it like on the field, and they try to use another effect to remove it, and you just remove another Dawn? Like red purple law only needs 3 Dawn to do everything.
Yeah, so yeah, you're definitely right. Let us know in the comment section if you guys want us to revisit discussion on the ban list. And
Chat, hold on. Shut the fuck up, KebbieG, you cute little bitch. I'm kidding. That was a little aggressive. You cute little motherfucker is what I meant to say. Chat, if you guys want to see me absolutely mog KebbieG with red purple law, let us know down below.
we could do some gameplay to see if it could come off as well. I'll probably be playing Purple Enel and see how it does against Purple Enel.
I think it gets fucked by Purple Enel. That's the worst deck for you to say to play against.
I mean, 'cause I would play Nami, but I just find her so boring. I don't want to play her.
I agree with that. I think so right now, especially with the way the meta is and what you have in like the competitive slot. I know it's not dialed in. We have a whole podcast to talk about it. I think Purple Enel is probably really good into it. I think it's maybe a little slow into Purple Yellow Nami. And I think I've always thought Yellow Enel just dogs it. Like even an older version of the Yellow Enel, like what I used to run where it was like combo tempo based, it outplays now. Shit, even like a good Marco player can easily beat red purple law.
Yeah, and not to mention, I think OP16 like leaders are pretty power crap too, so like, they probably have a good shot. Law would be really good into Luffy though.
Which Luffy?
The new blue green one.
Yeah, for sure. But on the opposite end of the spectrum, it would be incredibly bad into Red Ace. Well,
yes, probably.
I don't want to say incredibly bad, but it would be less good, and you would have to completely reformulate the deck
And
to
it might
play
even
into it.
Kind of bad into Goku too.
With I don't want to spoil it, chat, because we're going to talk about it later. But yeah, Sengoku got some support that's like pretty good. But also okay, so the thing about red purple law, even if you're not removing a body, you're establishing a body, and that's the important part. Being able to put up numbers where you just crash into your opponent's life is really, really strong in this game.
Yeah, it's good for tempo.
Yep. And like in conjunction with Black Purple Black Maria, that's insane because you're just using the law effect for free. Even if you're at 0, you can never start your turn at 0. Well, you can never be at 0 Dawn during your turn unless you've minused Dawn. So like realistically, if you have a Black Maria planted on field, you're never in a situation where you can't remove something. Even like if you over remove something with the Black Maria, you can still come back on the next turn and over remove stuff with Black Maria again, and your opponent gets punished for trying to like play around that. Also, I'm sorry, I don't know if I said black purple law. I meant red purple
Yeah.
law.
I think this is all I want to talk about. At least these deck lists right here. I think the rest of these are kind of. You could talk about Kaido, but I don't think Kaido is gonna get you
No,
anywhere.
Kaido is cheese. Let me take a quick look at these
You
while
could say
I
that with
have a
Luffy.
sober. I don't have a sober mind. Let me take a quick look at these. It's crazy off the rip that Krieg is not in this. No, I'm kidding. Extra Grand Battle doesn't do anything. I was thinking about Pirate Party. Can you scroll down a little? Just a smidge? That's fine. You can scroll back up.
Perfect. We can see everything. So, like,
I think Boa maybe like blue yellow Boa maybe has like a little bit of a good opportunity just because it has Pudding and Raigo back for extra grand battle,
I
but
don't
I
think it has
don't think
pudding.
it's better to play the Nami.
I believe pudding's still banned.
An extra reg?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
They share the same ban list.
Chat, I'm sorry. I'm cooked right now. It hasn't been a long weekend, but it's been an eventful weekend.
So yeah, it should still be banned. So this is basically all there is to talk about. So I do agree. Probably Red Green Law is probably going to remain as a rogue. I don't know if it's actually going to be hitting that gap into being competitive. Because it is going to struggle into Enel, but does it struggle into Nami?
How would it not?
Okay, then it definitely remains rogue.
No, answer my question. I'm not saying that sarcastically. Present an argument against me about why it would be competitive against Red Purple Law.
I personally, I never really played that matchup, so I have no idea.
Okay, well, no one played that matchup because Red Purple Law was banned before we had Nami. So my
Red
thought
green.
process.
We're talking about
No,
red
red
green.
purple. We were talking about red purple.
Yeah, but we're getting the actual topic at hand now. Like we're talking about the extra.
Yeah, I thought we were still talking about a hypothetical thing. It's fine.
We can
Okay,
later
so
on. I think we could make a whole podcast talking about the ban list and seeing what cards could hypothetically
I
come out.
think red purple law or red
Red green.
green law is still probably pretty good if you see X Drake, but you're counting on seeing one of four cards in a 50 card deck.
Yeah,
And
no.
sure, you do see most of the time the cards that you need. One piece decks are generally very, very consistent. And Nami, not a lot of stuff in red green law is 7k power, like 7k base power. So not a lot of stuff is like swinging neutral. But even just swinging 7 into blue yellow Nami gets 2 cards out of hand. So it's really a weird power dynamic between those two. I unfortunately strongly believe red green law falters to purple and L. I
Yeah.
think if something isn't held back by Nami, it's probably held back by purple and L. I don't, as much as it pains me to say this, I don't even know if yellow and L should be higher than rogue.
That's fine. So yeah, I definitely think this is a pretty bad dynamic for Law, but so Nami, like Law is, I would say, arguably one of the most consistent decks in this format because it runs so many searchers. Like
It
it depends on
it
searchers.
runs 8.
I bet it runs 12 or
It,
more than that.
it what's more? It's Bonnie and then it's Kid Killer and it's maybe
Luffy.
Corona.
I thought it played Luffy,
You got me there.
the Supernova Luffy.
You got me. You're right.
Yeah, they play a lot of searchers because that's what they return and constantly keep replaying down. Um,
Chat, it's been a weekend. I promise I'm better than this. No, you're right. It does probably also play Luffy.
yeah, so there's quite a bit of options And it should be
But
very consistent in that
the
department.
the thing about Luffy, it's a purple Enel victim. Like, you can remove all of your opponent's stuff early game,
Yeah, by just
and
attacking
then
two
like
and them.
just bait through their anti-removal, or you can bait through their anti-removal every single turn. Purple and L doesn't necessarily struggle into removing two things per turn.
Yeah, I mean,
On
yeah, I was.
Also, unfortunately, I will admit Nami and Purple and Blue Yellow Nami and Purple and L are probably the decks that you have to worry about the most.
Yeah,
Just
that's.
due to power creep.
Yeah, and plus, I mean, Nami also gets Red Rock back,
Sure does.
so it's like even a little bit more of a pain. So, where do you think Dofi stacks up? Blue Dofi.
I think it's like Rogue. I think people are gonna cope on it because a lot of people were playing Blue Dofi when it was crazy good. But the best Dofi can ever do is 2 to 3 bodies per turn, and you can just remove that. Like even Nami, like older Nami lists, I don't know if you remember. Like realistically, you could like play out if you're playing Enel, you could play out a 2 cost and you can gamma knife almost anything in the deck and kill it. Like you can gamma knife anything in the deck and pop it with an L Thor, or you can manually KO it by battle. So like it's a little rough with everything in the deck basically being a 4 cost. Same with Nami. Like when you introduce these cards that have been rotated back into the game, you allow like a certain dynamic or a certain out to cards. And for Nami, it's allowing for a trigger anything 4 or less to be bottom cost, or as an active, you can just bottom deck anything. Like I don't think Nami struggles that hard between having better removal and being a 7K leader on your opponent's turn.
So, I guess the first. You could argue that they're not very similar, but in some ways, I would say Dofi is kind of similar to Boa in that they kind of go wide with 5K bodies.
Yes. No,
So, which one do you
it's
think is
not
actually
even
better?
it's not even that they're like super different, which they are, but their overall game plan is basically the same. Like swarm the board with as many or like power neutral characters as you can and swing as many bodies as you can. That's like the game plan.
Yeah, so which one of these two for swarming you think is actually better into this meta?
Okay, so maybe red purple are
Red green?
chat. I'm so red purple law pilled that I can't stop talking about it. Red green law, I think probably has the advantage just because the searchers are like a lower cost and you're able to like recycle them in a better way to generate more value out of them.
Okay, so we're going to put red green law into competitive. So if you're looking for a deck that goes swarms wide with a bunch of 5Ks, Law's probably your best candidate. If that's
Honestly, I would have put red green law into competitive before rotation regardless. Like even in regular format, it was a really really good deck because 8 cost kid is a really really good card and that's basically what you're doing with the deck.
So next would be BV. So she got a little bit of support from Alabasta that she got rotated basically right after she got printed. I don't think that's enough to make her actually viable, but what do you think?
No, I agree. I don't think Vivi is that good right now. I don't think Vivi I don't think Vivi's ever been that stellar.
I think
And
she's a
like
fine
when
leader, yeah.
no, it's exactly, it's fine. I don't when I say stellar, I don't think it's ever been a 10 out of 10 because it's always had stuff that does well into it. Like, to me, a 10 out of 10 is like a tier 0 deck. I think Vivi smacks. I think it has a lot of opportunity to capitalize on a lot of stuff that your opponent, like, if you can understand fundamentals in a really strong way, Vivi is probably really, really gas. The effect also really, really gas. Like, why would you swing 5k with leader if you could play a 10 cost like
Pot chance.
Kaido and draw 4 cards and then also swing 10k? It's a really good deck. I just think like sometimes cards are like incredibly power crept really early in their lifespan.
I also think she's a leader that kind of falters in the fact that she makes you pigeonhole yourself into maybe some strategies are not optimal. Like, because one of the main cards she got was Shotgun Impel. Like, do you build Shotgun Impel? Do you build it towards with the 7-drop Vivi that cheats down the Shotgun Impel? Like, that seems, I don't know if that's necessarily a trap, but it will pigeonhole you into in certain approaches that maybe are not the best.
I'm gonna say it just right off the rip, and if you disagree in the chat, let me know. But I don't. I'll read the chat, but I don't give a fuck. My opinion's my opinion. It's bad. Like playing the 7 cost Vivi is hoping that you have a combo piece to play out an undervalued body to play an overvalued body. That's no different than just playing an overvalued body on your turn.
Yeah, it's basically hoping that you can make them go down 1 card. You go down 2 cards from him, but you draw 2. So you kind of break even on that axis, but like you still got to have both of them. I don't know. Like there's a lot of things that I think you get pigeonholed. Like you have to mixture your deck between the 5-drop Vivi and the 5-drop Nami because they kind of go well together. So it's like you're like I don't know. There's a lot of things you have to like take into account. I don't know what's the most optimal build. I don't think we have enough time frame to even figure out what the most optimal extra deck is for this for her.
We don't have enough time to talk about the most optimal list for any deck for extra grand format. We're just touching on the ground
Yeah,
basis of
yeah,
stuff.
you're right in
Unfortunately.
regards to like Enel. Like we don't have much time, and there's so many possible purple cards that you just don't have access to.
No,
But
and like
Nami though is this Nami is one that we probably do know the most optimal version because she was competitive before she
yep,
rotated. Rotation.
yep.
Where do you think Nami stacks up? Because it doesn't get hosed by I don't think Enel right as much.
You're talking about blue yellow Nami, right?
No, blue Nami.
Blue Nami cooked.
And she's cooked.
Like okay, so in the fact or like not the fact, but in the opinion that purple Enel just spits out bodies every single turn that do whatever they want, or even that they're just 6 or 7k swings, the same way that like a good purple Enel player will be able to play into a good Nami player because they're just going to swing a bunch of 7k swings. The weakness of blue Nami has always been 6k bodies. Also, I want to point out extra regulation did not reintroduce the original Nami leader
Yeah,
back
no.
to us. It is just the promo Nami leader with all of the card pool. So it's like it's still a mediocre leader effect, or like not even the leader effect, but the leader restriction is still incredibly underwhelming. Like
Yeah.
the East blue cards aren't that good. The all of like I'm not gonna say all of, but 90% of the good, like the actual good East blue cards were printed in like
Green.
OP03.
And a lot of them were green. which is why we have Krieg. We're going to talk about Krieg in a little bit
Well,
because he can.
no, 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 no. In OPO3, for blue Nami specifically, it would be like Gum Gum Giant and the Zeph that can attack, and like Nojiko and Belmir that can also attack, or like Rush Usopp, RIP to my boy. Like, there are a bunch of cards that could be immediately removed, but they generate almost immediate value on play, which is the most important factor in that Nami deck, because you don't have the same like counter events because you're restricted to East Blue specifically.
Yeah, I don't think they'll ever unban the original Nami because she's probably broken.
I don't I think so the I was talking about this with people in Toronto. So I don't think any leader is like excluded from being put back into the meta because power creep is so absolutely insane. A ton of stuff can be really relevant.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. Like, I feel like she would be really, really, really strong. Like, ungodly strong. But I could be wrong. Like, they did want to make blue back to what it should have been the entire time.
Well, what is your most like give me an honest answer. What is your strongest East Blue card?
Right now for the promo Nami,
No, 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 no. In extra grand battle, what is your strongest East Blue card that you're playing? Because that's what that Nami is locked to. That's the Nami that we have
I was talking
access
about the
to.
original one. The original
We
one's
don't
probably too broken.
we don't have access to that, so there's
Yeah,
no point in talking about it.
yeah. I'm saying I don't think she'll ever come off the ban list. Is what I'm saying.
No, I agree. I probably not, or if she does come off the ban list, it's going to be like OP 30, which isn't that far off. That's like 2 or 3 years from now. But like that's the
That's
point
crazy to
that that
think.
deck is, you know what I mean?
That is crazy to think. So what do you think about Sanji? It gets Red Rock back.
It gets some stuff back, but we also the same issue that was kind of presented when Sanji was like good originally. We were always fearing OP15. We were always fearing the anti-removal cards. We were always fearing the cards that were just generally power crept. I think I think blue purple Sanji is probably pretty good. I just don't think it stacks up against like a grip of the other decks. Even like playing against purple Enel or yellow Nami. What are you doing? You're pinging into your in the blue yellow Nami matchup. What are you doing? You're pinging into your opponent, hopefully, or they're like just countering out of everything. Or like purple and now you're again just swinging wide a bunch of times. You're putting in a bunch of fives and a bunch of sevens every turn, but it just does what it wants. It's solitaire. Like as long as it has access to the events that negate or counter or mill stuff, it's a little broken, but I don't think it's so broken. We're talking about Sanji, not Nami. I'm sorry. I think Sanji's really good. I just think it's still a victim to all the anti-removal.
Yeah, I think he's in a weird spot, right? Because I think he's on paper a lot of the times he is kind of so comparable, and yeah, definitely like so comparable to Enel, like kind of how he operates. There's a lot of events. He tries to, get his bodies up to a 10K like Enel does, but the issue is, I guess, isn't he better into? He's definitely better into Nami though, right? Than Purple Enel is,
Ah,
because you could raise you Red Rock, bottom deck the Whitebeard.
so the thing that makes Nami really strong into Purple and L isn't the removal, and that's the same for Sanji. It's not the removal that makes it really good into the deck, it's the Perona.
Oh, the yellow Perona. Yeah,
Yes.
the yellow flop. Yeah, that would still hose his 3-drop Sanjis
which is the playmaker of the deck. There's nothing in the deck that doesn't get hosed by Perona outside of the blocker ratio.
Yeah, at that point, you're basically at the same threshold as Enel, right?
Yes.
The only difference is you can technically play a bigger body if you wanted to. I mean, because you can actually go to 10 Dawn, but I don't know what you would actually want to play that's over 6 cost in your deck. So maybe he still struggles. Do you think yellow green law has a shot here?
No.
I know it had a lot of its pieces rotate, like his best pieces rotate. And I know some people are excited to try him out again, dust him out, OG style, but you think he could have a shot?
I think people would maybe not expect him, but no. I don't think he has a shot for the same reason I don't necessarily think Sanji has a shot. Anti-removal is so good right now. And like in your opening hand, like not even necessarily your opening hand, but your opening starter for green yellow law, you need small bodies, and small bodies equate to small power. Small power equates to easy removal, whether it be Mamaragon or L4, you're just removing their characters every turn. So the best chance that they have into like, again, I don't like to just talk about one or two matchups, but really everything is defined by purple Enel or yellow Nami right now. If it's good into purple Enel, you can probably play it. If it's good into Nami, you can probably play it. The issue is that a lot of things are just weak to both of them.
Yeah, I mean, you also might argue maybe if you were going to play a law, you should just play green red law.
Exactly. Absolutely. I think red green law has always and will always be a stronger Sorry, chat. I've bit my cheek like 15 times tonight, and every single time I do it, I have to stop and acknowledge it. I think red green law has always been a better combination than green yellow.
Yep.
I almost repeated the same color combination. That's funny. So I've always thought that green red has been better than green yellow, even though they don't. Green red doesn't necessarily like synergize. It gives you the ability to play multiple characters off of your Dawn, like to cheat out multiple characters off of your Dawn, and like you can do that with green yellow as well, but your card pool, even with it being open back up to the 5 cost blocker and the 5 cost blocker law and the 5 cost restand law, you're still limited in the sense that those are the 2 cards that you're relying on. Whereas if you're playing green yellow law, you still have those 2 cards, but your like game plan is different. You don't have as good of a way to access it. And green yellow laws like secret ability has always really just been a kid wall, and like kid wall's not that good right now. Like sure, play a kid, rest it, let me divine departure, and then I'll swing 5 2Ks into it to eat 5 cards out of your hand. Like it's not that good comparatively to what it used to be.
And probably don't need to have a huge discussion on red green Luffy. It's probably still competitive because it's still good into both of the top 2 decks.
Yes, you mean OP13 red green Luffy, right?
Yep.
Shout out to Rickmaster Flash. I actually got to meet him over the weekend. Really, really nice guy. Red green Luffy is good, but it's like once you understand how to play into it, you just know what to like, how much Dawn to put onto each character to swing into it. It changes like the structure of the game from like if you're a quick deck, you're not gonna be a quick deck anymore because you're not gonna be able to ping for five call like you're not gonna be able to ping for 5K swings. You're gonna be able to ping for like a 7K swing, but it doesn't really change the fundamentals of the deck, and it's just a little bit worse than a better color combination, and like not even necessarily a better color combination, but the color combination of red green. I guess we're talking about Luffy versus Law here. Law's just better. Luffy's good. It's not bad by any means, but like it does falter a little bit. I feel like especially it's the reason that red green Law is back in the meta, or red green Luffy. The reason red green Luffy is in the meta is because you can Luna victim Enel, but Enel has started to form like a deck list that plays more Varis, which makes it where you can't Luna or I know you're strong the Enels, and then it's just a deck that has a lot of counter. But if you push through with 3 or 4 10Ks every turn, your opponent's not able to do that much. And like also red green Law
Red green Luffy. Yeah.
Chat, I'm so sorry.
Just
Kebbie,
say
I'm
Luffy.
not sorry. Fuck you. But chat, I'm so sorry. Red Green Luffy is a deck that kind of relies on seeing like Usopp on 4 or 5, Sanji on like 5, 6, and then like Zoro on 6, 7. That's for the young guys. It falters to anything that can remove it like pretty good. If you can like, so the most valuable, arguably the most valuable card in red green Luffy is actually kind of the 4 cost Usopp because it restands 2 Dawn for you. If you're able to remove the Usopp and then you're also able to remove the 5 cost Sanji, you probably win the game.
Next is Ace. So
Ace is never bad, and it gets Moby Dick back. I think it's maybe low competitive, which is where you just put it, or it's very, very high rogue, just because a fucking 4 cost.
it also gets
I bit my cheek.
it also gets 9-drop Whitebeard back.
It does get 9 cost Whitebeard back, but I think that's less important than the fact that Moby Dick makes all of your shit 2K stronger when you're at a little bit less life. So you just like you take the first hit and then you I am Whitebeard for the second life, and all of your shit is extra 2K on your turn. So if you have Moby Dick out and you I am Whitebeard with Law, sorry, not Law, I'm Law pilled. If you I am Whitebeard with Ace, chat, if you I am Whitebeard with Law, literally nothing is gonna happen. Don't do that shit. If you I am Whitebeard with Ace while you have Moby Dick on field, you get to boost your leader potentially to an 8K leader, and then on your opponent's turn with Moby Dick, it's a 10K leader. Do you know how fucking hard it is for your opponent to like wiggle out of a 10K swing? That's the reason that Purple Enel can overwhelm a lot of decks. Like Purple Enel has moved into control sort of deck. But like if you just slap down 3 10K bodies, you can overwhelm your opponent by pressure, and that holds true to every single deck. So if you're playing down a card that would be a 6, 7, I hate that I'm making that joke right now. Shout out D'Anthrax. If you're putting down like a 6 cost 7K power, or like shit, even fucking vanillas at this point, where you're putting down a 6K, or like you're putting down a 6 cost body that is potentially 8K or 10K because of Moby Dick, you're pushing so much pressure. That's so much like power that your opponent has to block or counter out of. You're eating through a lot of resources. I think it's like probably not a bad deck. A lot of people have been practicing like not necessarily control variants, but they've been practicing like
Aggressive.
quicker, more like rush builds of the deck with like 7 cost ace and whatever other cards. That's the only one that stands out in my mind because I love ace. But they're like playing a lot of rush cards that just boost your character's power, like that will have your opponent's characters boosted because Whitebeard characters kind of span the entirety of everything that you need to do. There's almost a Whitebeard character for everything that Enel does outside of resting or stunning something. There are pops, there are power increases, there might be power reduction. I'm not looking at a card list right now, but I think Ace does really well. And if you disagree,
Man,
go fuck yourself. I don't care.
man, I just thought about it, like, imagine how crazy the new Ace Leader was going to be in this format when it comes out. Like, it literally, it probably does the best. And with, nah, I guess, I mean, Moby Dick, you have to have one life, don't you? So like, it would be kind of
Yeah,
difficult for it to get that
you
low.
have to be at 1 or less life, so you're putting yourself in a bad situation with Red Ace.
Yeah, so it's not the same as this one where you could actually take your own life with your
Mm-hmm.
own Whitebeard event.
Like with red blue ace, you're already like at a lower threshold and you're fine with sitting at like 1 life because you have a way to go from 2 to 1 that doesn't necessarily like punish you in any sort of way. It actually rewards you by giving your like giving your light or giving your power an extra boost. So it's like anything that's not an 8K swing has to attach Dawn, which completely changes the dynamic of what you're trying to swing for lethal. I think Red Ace is I just bit my cheek again. I think Red Ace is probably good. It's just probably not as good as Red Blue Ace.
Next on our list is Purple Yellow Crocodile, the goat. How do you think he
Is
stacks up?
is it the goat? Why would you say that?
He's the
I've
goat. He is the goat.
I've literally never seen crocodile and a goat in the same panel. You can like flay me for it right now. I don't know if it's the goat. What makes it the goat? Why is it any better than what it was before? Because it has 7 cost Kuma?
I don't even know if it would play 7 cost, but actually it probably would. Six drop
Why
and
wouldn't
seven
it? You
drop
just
Kuma.
make your opponent take a life off of it. It's like Basil Hawkins, but like a little worse.
Yeah, you could play the 6 drop and the 7 drop, depending on what you want to do.
You can play the 6 cost, you can play the 7 cost, you can play Kikanojo, you can play Basil Hawkins.
And
That's
Baby 5.
no. Well, yes, but no.
Because it
Um,
comes down, you ramp it on, later on you can
nope.
redirect into it, and you could
Mm-mm.
gain a life.
Negative. You want to look up Baby 5 real quick? Is
Uh,
Baby 5 generic? Am I
yeah,
stupid? Oh,
it's generic. The other
yeah,
one,
you can do that.
um, Sugar, is not generic.
Which sugar?
The 4 drop Sugar, the one that ramps.
And then like plays out a bigger body.
Yeah,
I
she's
that
not
one.
generic, but Baby 5 is. Because when they were playing it on the extra battle, Shun versus Gavin on their YouTube channel, he played AB5 because it allowed him to ramp into a 7 drop crocodile earlier. Also, your case Kuma potentially too, and later
In
on he
my
just
case, why are you talking to me like I'm a second class citizen right now? Everyone plays Kuma. It's a good 6 cost.
7 cost we're talking about. I didn't bring him up. You brought up 7 cost Kuma, and I was giving you the shout out props for it.
All of the Kumas are good.
Except,
But
except,
no,
except for the new 3 drop black one. We don't talk about that one.
It's so bad I don't remember it.
That's the point. So
The 6 cost or the 7 cost are probably really good in Crocodile, depending on how you want to play the deck.
so how do you think Crocodile could do in this meta? He's so good that he has to take a breather.
Kind of, something like that. It's certainly not me being a lightweight and consuming more substances than I should. Um, I think it's fine. I don't think it still loses to blue.
So you think it loses to Anami?
What does it do in the Grav Blade?
It prays and hopes. Pray for the heart
Fuck,
of the cards, and then you
fuck,
draw them.
dude, you got me there. That's such a good strategy. Take it to a regional. No, but like really, it doesn't do anything into blue because you just lose your characters into blue unless you're playing one of the bad one of the bad anti-removal cards.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, okay, so the thing about what I've kind of realized with a lot of people that I've talked to or overheard, Enel and Blue Nami are kind of really just the decks you need to beat. And like that's unfortunately kind of the way it is when you really think about the overarching aspect of the game. Power creep exists. There's no reason that a leader from OP 15 or OP 16 shouldn't be incredibly, like, comparatively, shouldn't be incredibly busted into a leader from OPO 1. Like, not to always harp back to it, it's just what's popular right now. Nami or Enel should be incredible into Red Zoro, right? Would you agree with that? Like Red Zoro being like not even
it,
arguably, but probably the best deck from OPO 1.
yeah, it
Well,
also
okay,
does.
not the best deck from OPO
I'll
1
say
in
this
the
one's fighting
sense that it's
chance.
only using OPO 1 cards, but the best deck using its plethora of cards. It or Red Green Law. But
Yeah,
Red
law
Green
is
Law
really
is
good.
a 4 life leader that actively wants to take 2 life because it plays a bunch of bricks.
So like Zoro, I think yeah, it would get shunted by the fact I think red is like the worst color.
It is.
So like
It
it's
is.
not even close. I don't think a lot of people try to argue that green or blue are the worst colors. I'm just like I ain't having that. Red hasn't gotten anything good since block
My
one.
sweet, sweet Kebby doll. Blue simply cannot be the worst color when they had to hard ban the not one copy, but like when they had to ban Perona and rotate Red Rock. Blue was getting to a point where you would just call it blue slop because they ran Perona and Red Rock. Or not Perona. They ran Pudding and Red Rock.
Yeah, yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah, Perona. I mean, pudding was basically like a staple, a hardcore staple. I don't think red ever got that caliber of a staple. I guess Zoro was kind of there, but Zoro's not that good in
No,
comparison.
it was Red Rock. That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying. Red
yeah,
Rock was incredible. And like that's one of the Pudding and Red Rock were the two staples of blue. Like when someone says a color and then they reference slop afterwards, it's just like the most popular version of what cards are being ran in that color. So like Borsalino, 5 cost Nami, those are yellow. Sorry.
yep. Those are
Red
good as
Rock
well.
and Pudding are both just cards that would generically be ran in any deck that could like
Yeah,
substitute blue in.
yeah, and basically the only two cards that red has is Rayleigh or Roger. I mean Roger and Zoro.
Well, for what? For what
I,
aspect? Because that's not true.
most red decks plays Roger, like most of them do, like one of
Yeah,
two of. So like that
for
would
sure. But
that's like
what does
their.
that have to do with extra regulation?
I
Roger,
would say that those two would be you attach the term what are red staples like Roger would be the most.
right, but neither of the cards that you just mentioned rotate out.
Yeah, they don't. Um,
You're also overlooking a grip of cards like 3/5 Zorro, 3/5 Zorro, 3/5 Zorro. There's not a lot of other red cards. Red was good for 4 sets and it was made bad.
yeah, it was like really bad.
The last good red deck that wasn't Marco or that wasn't Ace Stun was Marco, and it got sorely outclassed because nothing can be removed now.
So what do you think about Whitebeard?
I think Whitebeard is for chuds.
That's kind of sad.
Yeah, it's
Whitebeard. That's so sad that we didn't get a new leader for him.
ooh, ah, ooh, wah, 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 wah. I think we will get a new Whitebeard leader soon.
What do you think about Mihawk?
I think Mihawk's good. I hate to say it. I hate green. I think
I hate it
people
too.
will be like, yellow's the most oppressive color because it makes you play the game longer. Green is the only color that makes your shit not able to play the game. And I think that is the greediest aspect and the worst aspect of the game. I think Mihawk is regrettably pretty good because it reintroduces 10 cost Dofi that you can then rest to get 3 Dawn back. Or hear me out on this because, oh my god, what the fuck? You can rest 8 cost Kid for Mihawk effect and then put one of the 3 Dawn onto the
Kid.
kid. So, like, unless you're playing something that hard removes based off of Red Rock or just being purple and now, you're kind of fucked.
You're not wrong. I didn't even think about maybe he is the best leader for Kid. On top of that, yeah.
He's pretty good for a kid. I don't know if he's the best. I only say that in the sense that Red Green Law is really, 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 really good into certain decks, but it's probably not the best into Mihawk because it's a slash victim.
Yeah, they both have slash. Yeah, that would be really bad for him.
But with Red Green Law, you have access to the X Drake, which just gives insane value because it's like one of the anti removal. Oh, chat, sorry, it's been a long weekend. X Drake is essentially one of the like anti removal cards, but it's once per turn. But a lot of decks can't remove stuff more than once per turn.
Okay, so rapid fire. What do you think about Lucy? I don't know
Fuck
what cards he
Lucy.
gets.
Lucy is for bitches that don't know how to play the game. No, I'm kidding. Lucy's really good. I does it get that much in extra regulation though? It gets like it doesn't even get pudding back because pudding's still banned.
I I can't remember if it gets any support at all from the old Rebecca leader. Because she had to just roasted cards to help out Sabo. I don't think there's much. It would have to be.
I legitimately can't off the top of my head, and I'm a little fucked up right now. There's nothing on the top of my head that increases Sabo because, or well, sorry, that increases Lucy because it's not Sabo. So the best thing that Lucy could have ever done was also be named Sabo, just so it could run Gart.
Oh, I was talking about for I don't know what events, just roast events he gets from that.
Nothing good. The good Rebecca events were black. they didn't like lean into Rebecca as a blue deck. They leaned into OPO4 Rebecca as a black deck for its removal or events. Like the best card that OPO4 Rebecca ever not the best card, but one of the best cards that Rebecca ever had was like that Rhino Schneider card that gave something double attack. Being able to pair that with the 7 cost Black Luffy and then restand it to attack again, like being able to punch through for 4 life in one turn off of one character was insane value.
But you're right,
I
yeah.
I don't I don't think Lucy is less bad potentially. I just think it's not necessarily as good.
Yeah, it doesn't gain much, so yeah.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I don't think it really picks like sure, it gets to run Red Rock, but that doesn't even do anything into its worst matchup, which is usually where you want to implement those cards. Like if a card's not providing better value than what you're running in an OP15 list, outside of like rotation, because some rotated cards are incredibly broken, you're not playing a better deck. Like power creep unfortunately exists, and anything from OP15 should be significantly more broken than cards from OP01.
So yeah, so this doesn't gain much. I mean, you could say it's competitive at the lower side.
I think it's competitive in the sense that it plays into Nami, and Nami and Enel are probably the two best decks still. But that's just because in a grand scheme, Nami and Purple Enel are the two best decks in the format. And extra regulation isn't limiting what you can do, it's boosting what you can do. So like why would either of those decks be worse because they can play better cards? You know what I mean?
True. So let's get into the elephant in the room. The next two, let's tackle them at the exact same time, is Lucci and Sakazuki. So both of them get all of their, basically almost all of their minus cost back.
Yep.
So is that going to make any kind of impact? Are these decks now competitive at all?
What do they do into anti-removal
Yeah, they
or
definitely don't do much
rush?
into Enel.
Or like what do they do into a leader? Okay, so let me present a situation for you. You're playing Sakazuki. What are you going to do when your opponent becomes a 7k body every single turn? And you have to use every single like drip of your dawn to combo off to try removing your opponent's bodies.
I guess it depends on if you already have Kuzan down. That minus is 5. So like you would be able to just deal with the remaining 5 costs. But
So hold on, let me just ask this question real quick. You are in a game against Nami, blue yellow Nami, or purple Enel. Your opponent has not been able to remove this Kuzan? They just didn't see any of their cards. Like Kuzan is really easy to remove via L4 if you want to do a multi-card combo, or even just Mamaragon that will
Red
rest
Rocket.
it because it's Red Rock, Gravity Blade, 3K Worlds, Nojiko, Zeus, fucking Thunderbolt, even. You know what I mean? Like, there's quite a few.
Wait,
5 cost Perona that makes it where it can't be
are we talking about
rested.
the same Kuzan? I'm talking about 10 drop Kuzan.
Oh, Red Rock.
Yeah. I was like, wait a minute, are we talking about the same card here? I'm talking about the one that makes everything minus 5 on your
I
opponent's side of the
was.
field.
I don't. I don't think you survive long enough in the meta that we're in to play Tenkasu-san.
One could hope. One could hope. Then again, I don't really hope because I've never been a fan of that play pattern in general. The constant like spam removal from
I will
black.
say, sorry, continue.
No, that was all I had to say.
10 cost Kuzan is a crazy good card, but there's a reason that my mind immediately jumped to 4 cost Kuzan.
Yeah, when it attacks you, basically -4.
So like 10 cost Kuzan is awesome because it pops a 5k immediately and it gives a static minus. It's only on your turn, and the second it's removed, you just wasted your whole turn to do it. You can't even Kuzan and remove something. You have to set up the Kuzan. That's so bad. It's literally just a removal victim. You can't even run an anti-removal card to make sure it doesn't leave the field because it's what 10k power?
Yeah, there's not really a navy protection either.
No, exactly. It is literally whoops, gamma knife mama raga, swing a 7k into it, then a 5 and a 5 and a 5 and a 6 and a 5. Like sure, maybe you save it and I've killed a bunch of characters on your board, but the minus effect doesn't matter because you can't
Well,
remove my important characters anyway.
I guess it depends on the deck, right? So if it's Lucci, it's probably less likely to get removed because of the fact that you're probably going to waste your removal spells getting rid of the 4-drop Lucci's, Rob Lucci's, which is like a gigantic body. Like it's like
I
they're
mean, it's a gigantic body depending on what turn they play it on.
yeah.
Like
So like I mean,
if they put it out early, it's pretty easy to get rid of.
yeah, but like so if it's like a 7K or even bigger, like you're gonna probably devote a lot of your removal towards that to get it off the board.
Negative, sir. What do you consider a lot of removal?
Well, I guess it would be one Gamma Knife and maybe one Morrigan and swing into it.
Or one L Thor.
Yeah, you can Gamma Knife plus Elthor. Yeah.
There's no situation where that new Lucci plays around purple and hell. Well, okay, I'm not gonna say there's no situation. The situation that arises is your opponent is bad and they didn't see L Thor Mamaragon. Or sorry, Gamma Knife L Thor
Mm-hmm.
or something, Divine Departure L Thor, 3 Beast Kitten L Thor. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's every combination to get that Lucci off the field. That shit's not that hard to remove.
Well, I
It's
mean, I'm saying as in the counterpunch for Lucci, he's hoping that probably you drained a lot of your resources, getting rid of their smaller bodies until they get that Kuzan down.
but
So
that's
hopefully
what
get.
I'm saying. One, most decks would not like the purpose behind Tenkos Kuzan and the purpose behind the new Luccis that they play are not synergistic. They don't weave together like a penis and a vagina. Sorry, I did the wrong finger like orientation. They don't weave together. It's like, oh, hey, this is gonna remove your stuff, hopefully, because we designed it when removal was good. And then there's other card that is just like a trash turbo Burgess.
Yeah.
They don't play together. 10 cost Kuzan and and Lucci. It's not like, oh, you played down 10 cost Kuzan and now you trash 10 cards off the top of your deck. Like you're dedicating all of your Dawn to something that barely matters because you don't have a 0 cost to remove anything.
I guess you might have a semi argument that like would you even play Kuzan if not that you have access to your 1-drop or -5 cost and your -2 cost draw card. Great
No, that's
Eruption.
what I mean. I don't think like I unfortunately don't think that they are ran because there's no reason. Why would you when they're just going to get bounced off the field or
Or
like
yeah, you have Ice Age.
Ice Age plus KO, Red Rock, all of Purple Enel's bullshit. Like, it's not, and like, sure, that's only 3 examples, but that's Nami and Purple Enel, which is what you have to compare the decks to.
So do you think either one of these are competitive in this meta?
Uh, 1 second, sorry. No. I think realistically it's Nami and no. Everything else is Rogue.
Fair. Originally I was going to talk about Dofi, but I don't think Dofi gained anything actually. I thought some of the green blue or the green purple Dofi support that rotated was some of it might have been purple, but it looks like that's all green.
Yeah, I was about to say most of the green purple like Dofi stuff was green support. Like the
So
best green purple Dofi cards were Sugar and Guild Tessero, and then there was one other purple card that was really good. Thunder Bagua maybe, but all
that
of those are
was
purple. None of them are green. It doesn't matter.
so yeah, they're all green, not purple. So we have Bonnie that basically gets just her support, but she's
Unfortunately, and I say this with my whole last chest, lock up all the Bonnie players. If you collect Bonnie, if you're a Bonnie fan, outside of being like, oh, I love Bonnie's backstory with Kuma, you're a scumbag and I think you should be arrested. Um, I
yeah, she's just
don't,
kind of worse than Mihawk, right?
yes. It kind of is just worse than Mihawk because a lot of decks just play a lot of characters.
So
Like,
yeah, okay,
continue.
go ahead.
I
Finish
was
your
going to
next
say,
thoughts.
Bonnie has always failed and will continue to always fail to just being able to go wide. And decks recently have really liked to go wide.
So next is Krieg. So he does gain some cards from East Blue. The two
Technically,
drop Nami, the stuff from the Arlong, the
huh, he gets Django that can restand him for a second attack. I don't think it's better than what he has now. I think one of the only cards that he actually really runs that's East Blue is fuck, I'm spacing so hard right now, chat. I'm
he could run
sorry.
Hatchin.
Um
It's a nice
what's
two.
that?
It's a 2K
What's
counter
that?
that has a trigger that you could play it if your
Oh
leader's
yeah, yeah.
East Blue.
No, you can't play it out. You don't you have to have a Fishman leader or is it East
No,
Blue?
East Blue.
But still even that it's a 4K body.
Yeah, but it's still a 2K. Like it's not terrible. Like it's probably something better than he has now.
Is it? Really take a step back and think about it. When what's Krieg's ability? Dawn X1 gives something minus, or if your opponent's character has a Dawn attached, rest it? How do those like how do cards that don't put Dawn on your opponent's characters play better than cards that do put Dawn on your opponent's characters outside of the Nami specifically, because that's just a searcher that adds more consistency and it has a trigger to play itself.
I mean, I guess it depends. So like
Uh
stuff like
doesn't Hachin have like an on play to just rest something, or is that Karubo?
uh
Karubi.
that's Karubi. Jin could rest 2/4 cost.
Oh, wow. 2 4 costs. Gosh golly, that's so impactful.
And then Krieg,
So
the old Krieg could do some stuff like
it can pop
a
a
4 cost
4 cost, two
rested.
4 costs that are rusted, and then it has double attack, but it's slow because it has to be able to swing the next turn, and it's only like a 7K power.
Yeah, I definitely its best card that he gains is Nami, right? That's like by far his best
I
card.
think almost to the point it maybe only plays the Nami, in my opinion. But I haven't like tested it, obviously.
Yeah, I don't know either. It would take quite a bit of effort to get probably to a highly competitive version of Krieg that for such a limited amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's going to be worth it. Blue Purple Luffy
Ooh, well, hold on. Let's just clear.
and make for this
Let's
event. For this event.
let no again. Let's clear something up. Serial Yamatos are like $3,000+ cards, so winning one is absolutely worth the trouble. But I know you mean in the sense like, will it amount to enough to put you in a good situation? And I don't think it does. I agree with you. I think maybe the best card is just the Searcher Nami, and that's just giving extra consistency to the deck.
Yeah, it's definitely better than the one drop Krieg Searcher event.
Krieg. Oh, the event.
Yeah, the event. Yeah.
But what about when your opponent forces you to go first and you don't have a one Dawn play?
Well, that deck rarely has a one or two John turn play.
Well, KebbieG, you're wrong. It has a one Dawn play. It's the Event Searcher.
Or Django.
Yeah, I didn't think that card was a 2 cost. I knew it was a 1 cost the whole time.
I knew you did. I knew you did.
I have such a good recollection of all the cards that exist, KebbieG, especially when I drink or perform on other substances. In chat, I'm only drunk. I'm not like fucked up on drugs or anything. I would say so if I was. No, I think the Searcher Nami is ironically the best card that fucking Mihawk gets. And I hate to say it.
The Mihawk gets?
Yeah,
Or Creek?
both.
Both.
Both. A lot of Mihawk's good cards are East Blue. But all of Krieg's cards are East Blue. I will say, I just first off I bit my lip again because I'm a chud. I think the best cards that Krieg gets are the Gene that restands a leader, or I think rests something, or the Nami Searcher, and those are pretty lackluster cards.
I don't know, man. The Albedo one drop that's a 3,000 power is.
Isn't that blue?
No.
Oh. Look at that, chat. KebbieG knows more than me.
I'm looking at the screen right over here. Like,
oh, fuck you. I'm just looking at your screen, you cheater.
I have a card list pulled up.
Wait, there's that buggy that can't be removed by slash, right?
Yeah.
For sure you would play that.
The 3-drop 5,000. Yeah.
Almost certainly that's a card that you would really need 4 copies of in your deck.
And you definitely should play Mumu. The 2-drop 4,000.
That's true. That's actually more to, like, kind of meta warping. Let's leave that card out, actually.
Yeah,
I think it's too strong.
Yeah, we also don't want to see another instance where, you know, Luffy punches the cow again.
That's true. I personally do not like enjoy animal abuse, chat.
Yes.
So let's avoid that.
So next is Luffy. Up Luffy. So it does
Up
get
Luffy,
Bagua back.
It gets what?
It gets Thunder Bagua back.
Thunder Bagua. Okay.
And then it gets, of course, Red Rock. And then it gets...
Sure.
And then it gets Mihawk back.
Okay.
What do you think about Up Luffy?
It's just as bad as it was.
It definitely is not going to be Enel, for sure.
It's certainly not going to beat the deck that provides 2 6K swings every single turn. No, you're right, KebbieG. It will not be Purple Enel. I don't think it
What
beats
about
Nami
Nami?
either.
Okay, no, not Nami either.
Like maybe it does, but I don't see Red Rock being such a like gravitational. The only thing you should really be Red Rocking in a Nami matchup is Gecko Moria or Newgate. And if your opponent's dropping Gecko Moria and Newgate and you're playing up Luffy, kill yourself. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. But like pick a different leader. That's not good. Don't do that.
And for Bell Luffy, I don't think he gets anything.
It literally gets nothing. The best card that it got back was Rygo. And
It
that's
gets
not banned. So it doesn't get to play reject. There's nothing that's better about it in extra grand format than where it's at right now.
it gets Tropical Torment.
Oh, oh my
I'm kidding.
fucking god. Tropical Torment. I forgot
Trash,
about that card, Kebby.
trashing that top card of that life, man.
Wow. So like a a banish swing, an Onami essentially that like pops something on trigger. I
Yeah,
don't know, dude. That sounds
just an event.
worse.
It's just an event. Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I don't see much other than that. Like,
It's really hard just by the nature, and this is what I was kind of saying earlier, just by the nature of power creep, it's hard to be like, oh my god, this deck is gonna be so good because it's gonna play good into these other decks. When like we just have the two best decks right now that unironically play really good into everything else already. When I know you're not on Twitter, but when chat is on Twitter and they see people going like undefeated at extra regulation and they see that those people are running purple and now it's because it's one of two of the best decks in format. It's not because it like changes dramatically and there's so much tech you can do now. No, power creep's insane, chat. Like you're just playing what's good right now because it's better than what was good a set ago. Which sucks. I will totally admit I'm not, when I say all of this, I'm not talking about my like my feelings. I'm not talking about what I want. I'm talking about how I perceive these cards. Like I think it's a victim. I think it's a victim.
yeah, but speaking of facts, where's the actual best deck in format?
You have it in competitive already. It's purple and now. Wait, hold on. Sorry. I don't mean that, chat. I don't mean it. Can you scroll over the original red purple law?
Oh yeah. Okay, that's what you want to say is
Yeah. Can you scroll? Can you just scroll over it real quick?
that's the promo. I
No,
think.
that's fuck you. That's the promo. How dare you? It's up one row and then all the way next to like Yamato and Uta. Up, up, up. One more, baby doll. Yep. It's banned. We can't play it. End of discussion. Me making you do all of this extra work just to tell you we're not going to talk about it. I think red purple law could actually probably like come off the ban list right now. I don't think it's, I think we've caught up. I think power creep is good enough to play into a free body free removal every turn, believe it or not.
Man, I am not finding the best deck in format.
That's incorrect. You've already found the best two decks in the format. They are actively where they should be. Everything else is not as good. Hold on. Okay. I want to follow the format of this chat, even though I never do that because I'm a chud. Let me look through the list real quick. You can put Emu into competitive because competitive is going to be based on what you can remove, and you can't remove emu stuff. Except you can just swing a bunch into emu and you can kill them really quickly. But more version that doesn't exist is not a factor. Emu's so good, chat. Emu's busted. So we'll put that in competitive. Um,
There she is.
that's not where that belongs, but
That's best.
okay.
That's best second format.
Did did you mean best tits in format? Because that's also not even true.
Best horns in format.
Uh, what about Purple Kaido? His horns are bigger. He can play purple cards.
We don't see him no more.
We, we don't we don't talk about Purple Kaido, chat. We don't talk about him here.
We don't. We only talk about blue purple Kaido.
Yeah, okay. Chat, I stand strong with KebbieG. Black Pride. And if you think to yourself, oh, why did Villain say Black Pride? Kaido's not black. You're right.
Yeah, but
Some of these gags have been visual, and KebbieG does not understand them because he doesn't look at my stream. But moving on.
there you go. Blue purple Kaido. Best second format.
E- yeah, the best deck that King and the Kaido they do so much they can't be removed.
Oh, I thought you were gonna make a joke about the king leader. I was like, ironically, I literally just did a short.
KebbieG, I will never in a million years talk about that King leader unless someone is getting into the One Piece card game and they say, "Hey, what's the worst leader of all time?" And I say, "Hey, it's OPO1 King."
I'm talking about Black Purple King. I have it on this.
And then they say, "Oh, Villain, that's an interesting take. What would you consider to be the second worst deck in format?" And I say, I burp because I'm drunk. I say Black Purple King. That deck's ass, brother. What do you mean? What?
I actually have it sleeved up right next to me.
That doesn't make it better just because you have poor life decisions.
I don't consider it poor life decisions, but
In
I
what way?
I consider it to be the right life decisions.
So you don't like winning. You like to lose. You like to play meme decks.
No, I'm
Let's
just playing One
hold
Piece.
on, hold on.
I'm
Let's
playing.
just title this video "KebbieG Has Fun," and I can. The whole video will be me talking about how much I hate these decks that I think are mediocre, but you think are gonna be fun.
So yeah, let's move on to the last thing because probably we don't want it to be too long a podcast.
Okay, first off, I don't know how long the podcast has gone, and I don't necessarily care. Second off, I see him hovering his cursor over Sanji Zoro. That deck fucks.
So it's good.
I didn't say it was bad. I didn't make fun of you for hovering over it.
So okay, so what do you think about it? Because it gains back the East Blue stuff. Is the East Blue version of this good, or is it better
I
way
don't
the way
know.
it is now?
I don't give a shit about the East Blue. What does that even mean? What is it resting that's East Blue that's so, or like, what is it using as East Blue that's so important that it lost?
Because originally it was one of the main decks that played two drop Nami.
What two drop Nami?
The East Blue Searcher. I'm trying to
Don't know what
remember.
you're talking about.
I'm trying to remember the exact build, but
Oh, the Fishman build. The dirty, disgusting, grungy, no good, swamp breathing, gill breathed green Nami.
okay. Now we
Canceled.
just fizzled it. We
Canceled.
just got canceled. because you were hating on the Fishman.
In chat, if you want to see me hate on Fishman for 15 hours straight, subscribe to my Patreon.
He has a whole tier dedicated to
I
he'll
do.
give you a personal live stream where he rants
Yeah,
about Fishman.
that's true. It's not even a live stream. I create a private lobby on Discord and I just rant about Fishman killing my mother for 7 hours straight. It's a blast. I don't know. So like I think Zoro Sanji fucks right now as it is because it can like rest shit, return shit, Luna shit. That's good. That's pretty good. Um I don't think any of the East Blue stuff makes it better. It gets Red Rock back. It doesn't get Pudding back. When we're talking about decks that are like blue related, the only card that's important that they get back is Red Rock. It's Rygo without a cost.
Yeah, there's not a lot of blue. You're not wrong. So
And like there's not a lot of like good green in early sets either. Like some colors were just very neglected. And like as much as I hate the color green in the One Piece TCG, and I think like not necessarily that I think it does too much, but I think it's too like oppressive. Green is the worst color for play experience. A lot of people will complain about yellow because yellow extends the game longer than your deck might be comfortable with, but so does green. Except green says, hey, you can't use your card. Whoa, is this a 5/7 vanilla?
it is by far one of the best artworks. I don't know
In
who this
what
is.
degree? I am in this picture and I don't like it.
Roki. I don't know who that is. I don't ever remember him in the actual show, but
You don't remember my boy Roki from the show? He defended Ennis Lobby. What do you mean? You're a chud. Chat, grill me in the comments because I'm pretty sure I messed that up. I don't think he's from Ennis Lobby.
yeah, no, the two giants are different.
It could hover over him again. I'll tell you right now where he's from.
He's big and he's green.
That doesn't mean anything. So is my cock. I'm kidding, chat. I have a small PP.
You might want to go to the doctors for that.
Giant Animal Kingdom pirates. He's actually from Wano.
I would assume so. Yes. Based off
That's
these
not what you.
pirates.
That's not what you specified. You asked me. I told you.
I don't know what I don't remember seeing him in any of the episodes.
You didn't watch close enough. I also don't remember him.
Because I would remember somebody that handsome.
Oh, okay. I can like. I know Groki. He's a personal friend. I can hook you guys up.
No. So, is there any other leaders you want to talk about?
Chat, basically what I'm getting at is play Purple Enel, maybe play Nami, don't play anything else, even though we slid a couple other leaders into competitive. Those are the best two decks. Don't play anything else. They're all ass. When you think, oh, maybe this will do good because it plays good into one of the two decks, don't. Just play one of the two decks. Just play good stuff. Granny Villain taught me two things in life, and they're very important to the One Piece card game, even though she taught me them 25 years ago. She said, first off, little child villain. I don't know why she called me that. I was a perfectly fine person as a child. Maybe I even needed a little bit of love. But she said, hey, run 22Ks and your opponent can't kill you. And then also, she said, run the good cards. Don't run the bad cards. And you know what the bad cards are? 5/7 vanillas.
Bring it back to Roki, huh?
It all comes back to Rogi.
I see you.
Play the good cards. Don't play the bad cards. You know what decks play the good cards? I'll let you guess. right now, off the top of your dome, name me 2 decks that play the good cards. You fucking put that back where it was. How dare you? That's not one of them. This
Oh,
this was a 2-answer multiple choice question, and you drew in a third circle and put Usopp there just because Cross AI. And shout out Cross AI. He's cool as fucking, very very nice, and I chatted with him earlier today or yesterday, depending on the time that you're looking at this, or 2 days ago, or a week ago, or a month ago. I don't think anyone's watching this a month later because we put out new podcasts every week, but. Just because Cross AI is heavy pilled on blue black Usopp doesn't mean that it's good.
actually, speaking of those two that you were talking about earlier, that defended in his lobby, bam, there they are.
I've never talked about anything in my life before. This is the first time that I've ever spoken.
These are the two that you're thinking of that defended East Lobby.
Whoa, Oimo and Kashi? It might sound like I didn't say those names any different, but I did. Kashi and Kashi are different names, chat. Just so you know. Wait, can we throw some respect on my boy Purple Shanks?
No.
Why? Why
He's,
not?
he's the worst leader ever made.
Whoa. Watch your fucking mouth. Promo Red Purple Law exists. Also, so does OPO1 King.
King's better than that.
It's not. Agree to disagree, but okay.
And of course, the goat is Usopp.
It's not, but okay.
So, TLDR, if you want to get into this format, if you want to win the Yamato cereal, play one of these two. If you want to have fun, play Usopp.
Don't.
Play
If you
Usopp.
want to have fun, play Usopp. There's 19 other leaders that we've talked about, but if you want to have fun, you can only play Usopp. If you want to win, if you want to win,
because if you want to win and have fun, you want to play this card.
Or Lumbus, you can play this in Rebecca.
You could, but why would you play that? Why would you play it in Rebecca instead of Usopp?
Why would you play it in Usopp?
Because it's Usopp.
What are you KOing? What are you going -1 on board to give -3 or 5? I don't know. I didn't read the card. I saw numbers. -4. That's actually kind of crazy that I was right between it. But like, what are you doing with Orlumbus that's so valuable for 4?
It's just if you wanted to have a KO something. Slightly better than Laboon, right? Slightly
Wait. Hold on. Is the move? Oh no, it only KOs Dressrosa characters. Never mind.
Oh, you're right. Then KO one of your Dressrosa characters.
Yeah, dude. I know. I have a 2nd grade reading level. I read that.
Never mind. It KOs your own stuff.
No, and like that would be really good if it wasn't Dressrosa locked.
Well, we're talking about in the context of Usopp. I guess technically it would make you draw a card.
Yes. I'm also extending the thought process to every single deck, and I immediately go black yellow, where if you could KO any of your own stuff, it would be really good for you. But that's why they have Hakuba.
Yeah, that's why.
Hashtag free Hakuba.
Yeah, isn't he in the main conversations for Yamato?
More and more, it really looks like they have built Yamato around a random ass OPO5 card. But he sure is.
It works.
It works phenomenal. It's really, really good.
It actually does work.
If it doesn't get removed immediately because it's a 5/6. But yeah, no, it's a good card. it is the playmaker for the deck. I'm not disagreeing.
But yeah, so definitely go pick up one, play this or this, and if you want to have fun, play Usopp. Nothing else.
Well,
Nothing
no,
else.
I'm gonna stop you again. Emu. I don't know why I said emu. Fuck emu. I looked at that stupid ass leader. The butterfly's not even supposed to be yellow. It's a blue butterfly, just like in Persona. Persona's the best game that's ever been prevented. Persona's the best game that's ever been invented. Also, it looks like my hairline goes all the way back here, but it doesn't. That's just where like my hair splits, and I didn't just notice it. I've known it forever, and it does look like I'm balding. I'm not balding, chat, but also just play Enel. If you play Nami, you're a scumbag, and I hate you. I don't hate you. Thank you for watching, and I love you. But stop playing Nami.
And if you gotten this far, can you post in chat 07s for favorite Anime Villains receding hairline?
Whoa, 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 whoa.
All
That's
right.
crazy. That's crazy work.
07s.
That's crazy work.
That's it for this podcast. We discussed what leaders you should play, what leaders you shouldn't play,
Play
and
Enel.
and always play Usopp.
Literally never play Usopp. Even if you have a time machine and you can go back to OP10 where people haven't discovered good decks into Usopp, i.e. yellow, don't play Usopp.
I mean, why wouldn't you want to? You could that means you could Sabo into Gum Gum King Kong Gun, and then
Yeah.
just go from there.
Uh-huh. Sure. And then you just went neg 2 to get stopped by a blocker.
So that's it for the podcast. Closing thoughts. Anything you want to mention this closing?
I went X3 at the Toronto Regional. I'm absolutely washed. I didn't win a $30,000 cereal. I don't get to buy my podcast. I don't get to buy my tiny home. Enjoy the podcast. Come subscribe to my channel. Comment on all of KebbieG's videos. I'm kind of annoying. I love all of you guys. Thanks for tuning in. It's a fun podcast. Chick-fil-A is really, really good. I like Wendy's because they have baked potatoes. That's it. That's my closing thoughts. Also, I'm going to be streaming a bunch this week and next week and the week after and the week after and the week after. And you should come watch. Not you, Kebbie. You watch anyway. But the people that don't already watch should come and watch. Also, I guess watch KebbieG's channel. Whatever, I guess.
Yeah. If you really want to.
If you think people that try to help the community build like good, affordable decks is cool, watch KebbieG, I guess.
Speaking of affordable decks, this week I will be actually playing on stream the 5 decks for 40. So I'll be playing that this week.
You're gonna build 5 decks for $40. That's your max. That's your maximum budget. Each deck can only comprise of the leftover amount from the previous deck that you built out of $40.
Okay, no,
that's an insane challenge, Kebbie. I can't believe you're doing that. That's awesome. That's awesome though, Kebbie.
Yeah, so technically I came close with when I had 4 decks that were $10 a piece, but
what? Wow, Kebbie, you're just gonna play Purple Enel all week? That's crazy.
Technically, I am playing Purple Enel this week because the list I'm playing is $40.
A Purple Enel list for $40 is kind of crazy, actually.
Yeah, that's one of the decks I'm playing this week. It does not play Secret Enel.
That's what I was about to ask.
Of a deck.
No, I'm kidding. I respect the fact that you make economical videos. But chat, come and check out more of KebbieG's videos. Yeah. He streams all the time. He's on Twitch. He's on YouTube. He has like tournaments that he hosts occasionally. He always tries to get me to join them, but I'm like, no, KebbieG, I'm so good at this game. I want to let other people win. So you guys should come in. Maybe he'll have me judge. I don't know. I'm technically a Bandai judge.
Yeah, technically, he's kind of got me sour on the tournaments because I asked him to join one time. He was like, I'm too good for them. No.
I literally tried to join. There was 3 people.
So it really hurt my feelings, and I just haven't been able to make a new tournament since.
We've been trying to fire tournaments every month. What do you mean?
Yeah, that was basically it for me. That took the last bit out of me. I hurt my soul that he said he was too good for him.
No, chat, but really, join the KebbieG tournaments. Enjoy the podcast. Let us know what you want to talk about next week. Let us know what leaders you think are really good for extra grand battle. Let me know if my hairline's receding, and I'll block you. Give me your Yamako cereal cards.
07s in the comment section.
I swear to God, I will block all of you. Do not 07 in chat.
And we'll talk to you guys next week. At some point, I do want to come up with maybe discuss what leaders would you recommend for new players.
Purple Enel.
That's gonna have the ceiling on that is too high for a new player.
Blue Yellow Nami.
We're gonna have a more in-depth discussion on that. He's not
okay. Hear me out.
Blue,
quick jump into Blue Yellow Nami. Count the number of Dawn that you have on your field and play the character that equals as much of that Dawn as you can. Problem solved. Easy peasy.
He's not wrong. That leader is expensive and it's kind of easy to pilot. But we're not trying to lose a bunch of subscribers because all the Blue Yellow Nami players are gonna get mad.
I'm just gonna say it. Blue Yellow Nami is the green Zoro of OP of 15.
Hey, Zoro's harder to pilot than that. Hey, that's it. We'll talk to you guys next week.